guys, what's up? Today, right now, we're gonna do something that very few people I think are asking for. We're gonna look at Sean Clifford from this past week. There's been maybe it's just me, maybe I am running in weird corners of the internet where people discuss Sean Clifford. Who knows? But he had the two interceptions against the Bengals. Other than that, I think there's a perception that he played pretty well, decisive, threw the ball with authority, ripped some throws. I'm not debating some of that, but I kind of want to look into these throws in a little more depth. Not all of them. He had 28 throws on the day. I can't remember his final stat line. 200 and some odd yards, 205 yards, something like that. Two interceptions, one touchdown, I believe. We're going to look at it's still probably too many. It's 17 throws. We're going to try to fly through this a little quicker than we normally do, but we're going to do the same thing we did with the love throws that I did a couple days ago, and kind of what I like to do with a lot of these, which is we're taking this from a concept view. We're looking at what's the concept, what is the overall intention of this, because through that, then you can judge. All right, what was he supposed to do here? How is he reading this? How is he seeing this? Obviously, not the end all be all here. I'm not the authority on exactly what's supposed to be done, but in looking at what they're trying to run, what they're trying to accomplish, I think that's instructive in terms of kind of why he did what he did, and kind of helps inform some of his decisions a little more. So I'm rambling too much to start this off. So let's just get into it. So we're going to look at this first throw here, which is perfectly fine. He is going to throw. It's going to be from here, little dragging concept, slant flat. Typically what you're doing is you wait for, if you're looking at this, wait for that defender to vacate, fire the slant. If he doesn't run with it, you hit the flat. Pretty easy, pretty standard. Been around in Green Bay, West Coast offense for a long time. And so that's what he does. Now this is something that's kind of a recurring theme we're going to look at. Here he goes, drop, 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 throw, fire. All right. Looks like a nice throw. Splits 25 yards. Nice run after catch there from Samori Toure. One thing I want to mention is this man right in the middle, that guy right there. And we'll walk this through. So, like I said, you're waiting for the flat defender to vacate. So what we've got is right there. So he's got inside leverage on that guy here. We've got the flat. So we've got the flat defender running right there. What he does not account for, we'll highlight him in pink here, is the dude in the middle. So he's looking strictly at this. This is first read stuff right here. This guy vacates. I'm throwing to this guy here. Does never checks the middle, never looks to look off the middle. And so this one here, by the process, or if you're looking at the end result is throw that splits defenders. Should not probably split defenders because he just never sees the guy there. So we'll look at it from this angle. We can see a little better. Here we go, Clifford, and we're going to be looking at right there, 51. See him right there? Look at Clifford's head. So you look at the stripe on his head there. He looks straight to the slant. All right, flat defender right there. Vacates. I'm firing this sucker. Now, again, completes the pass. But if this guy, say 51, had drifted maybe here after the snap, Clifford's still not seeing him, and now you get a chance to jump that. So again, this is something. The result is fine. He looks first read. He throws a slant. He makes a throw, rips it in there, which is good because if not, the middle linebacker would have gotten there. But that's you kind of need to know what you're dealing with on the inside there, or else defenses see that you start cheating a little bit. You can take that away. So result was good. Process, I guess, was fine, but you would like to see him kind of check the middle. And again, that's going to be some kind of a recurring theme here with some of these. So this one here is going to be all curls, which I kind of hate as a concept, but whatever. And he's going to throw to the side to Watson, or it's not Watson. That is, it's 18. Is that Malik Keith, I guess? He actually goes through a couple reads here. So what he's going to do is he's going to check the middle. He wants to go Musgrave first. Musgrave isn't there. He sets that back foot's there, just crowded, just lousy with linebackers in the middle. So he knows, okay, I got my guy over here. I'm going to move over here. That's fine. Again, we just showed kind of one read earlier. I'm going to show he didn't like that first read. He moves on. He knows what the matchups are. If this guy's in here, that's there. That's good. We'll move on. We don't need to see anything more of that. This one here is the Reed. Reed's going to catch it right around there. The Jaden Reed catch. Really nice catch from Jaden Reed on that crosser. He's going to drop back, blah, blah, blah. throws it up to Jaden Reed. This one's kind of funny, and we can see a little better from the other angle. So what they're going to be doing is running this kind of I don't know, kind of a cross country dagger look where you got Jaden Reed on this deep over. You've got this dig behind it, and then you've got, I think, a vertical or something out over here. We'll look up here. He's looking here first. No, it's a kind of a wolf concept. That's what it is, or I don't know what it's called. I've seen it wolf. That's what I call it. Kind of this go route and then an out. He's looking vertical, and then he never really looks at the out here. So what he's gonna do, he's looking the vertical. He likes that vertical. He kind of gives it a look, does not end up liking it, never really looks the out. I believe that's the way that works. And then he ends up moving over. Now, the way you read this cross country dagger again with this big over and that dig is you go 1 to 2 because you're reading this clear out. If this is open, that means you haven't really the linebackers haven't shifted over to cover it and could potentially be behind it there. So you read 1. This is going to be important in a second. And if that's not there, that means likely that big crosser has moved these linebackers out, which means you got room on the dig behind it. You throw to 2. So in that concept, that's how that typically works. So we're going to watch. You see him kind of look in. He doesn't like it. He moves back, and we'll see this from the other angle. He looks like he goes here. He looks back here and then almost seems shocked that Jaden Reed is there. Oh, man, that guy's open. All right, I can just throw Jaden Reed. So then he throws up to Jaden Reed. Again, the result is good. The process is not typically how you want to see this. You want to see that with, so we're going to watch him. Let's watch Clifford. So again, he's going to look to the left. He's looking at that vertical route. He's set. He's looking through. He doesn't like it. He comes back. And you can see him kind of see it. Watch his head. He either is going to the back read over here, or he loses track of Reed and thinks Reed's going to be over there, and Reed ends up there by the time he comes back. And part of the reason is I think he waits a little too long on this. You can see him kind of go back, bounce, stare. I don't know if he's looking at the vertical or if he's looking at that out route. He stays on that a tick too long. So by the time he comes back, and the feet are not in a great position here. He's got the feet still pointed that way, as if he's trying to throw that vert. He doesn't really. You can pivot over, but he's not. He's not in a good position to throw this ball. You can see him. His head's kind of moving over there, and it's not overly obvious here. But if you watch that head snap back, so watch him. He's going to go bomb, come back. Oh, Jaden Reed, and then just come back and throws it. Now this is one again. Look at those feet the whole time. They're wide. Those are facing the opposite side of the field. He never gets in a great position to throw it. Again, Jaden Reed skies for that ball. Great catch by Reed. Ends up being, in a decent place by Clifford. He puts it up and away. You could throw that better where Jaden Reed doesn't have to make a catch like that. Like, say, put it out like that and just lead him across the field. So a couple issues on this one. Stays too long on that concept, whether he's looking at the vertical or the out on the left side, loses track of Jaden Reed or goes to the follow first. Almost seems shocked, is not in a good position. So he chucks it, he throws it, it's complete to Jaden Reed. The result is good. The process seems it's very, very messy. Very, very messy on this play. This one here, and play action bootleg look when I won't spend a lot of time on this, where they're going to have, fake that, come over, you got levels. So you're looking at, flat, you got those 3 levels there. He just misses the throw. And ideally what you want to do, the read on this, I've said this on the love one, I'll say this everywhere else. You've got this, I'll just draw it out here because why not? The crosser and fly underneath. Typically 1, although that one is almost not even a read because that's rarely open. Really, you go 2 to 3, or you could go 1 to 2 if you want to do that. So you're looking at that middle drag there, that crosser as your primary read, if you want to look at it that way. He does the right thing. Kind of that guy kind of robots back, where he kind of roll over and back. That linebacker, after looking up at the run, kind of runs back, takes that away. You've got the boundary defender there. He makes the right read by moving off of that and going to the flat. So that's good. He likely does look crosser to flat. That is good. He just misses the throw. So, again, that's one. We dinged him on process earlier. Not dinging him on process here. We're just going to ding him on the throw, which, whatever. As with the love stuff, for right now, I'm less concerned with the accuracy. I'm just looking at what the process is. Process is fine here. He just misses the throw. Like here, this one is good, I think. He's taking a vertical shot, and this is Jaden Reed. He's going to throw vertical Jaden Reed. This ends up being a defensive pass interference here, and he's going to check that safety. Basically, all he's doing, he knows you've got Reed on a slot fade from the right there. He chucks it up. Again, this could be a better ball. This could be out in front a little bit more. But if you look at the process, he is looking at you've got this little smash fade look over here. You got a little hitch running. He looks down the barrel, either showing single high safety. He confirms the single high safety. If that single high safety is there, that means no one's capping that route. So I'm taking a shot to my guy. Zero issues with the process there. Again, the throw could have been better. Throw that up over the top a little bit more, but he puts it in a place where maybe his guy can make a play and you get rewarded with a DPI out of this. So can't hate that. Again, process good. He confirms what the post snap or the pre snap look told him. This is the first read here, but zero issue taking that shot. That's good. This is the pick six. And so I've got a couple thoughts on this one, and we'll run it and talk about it. He's gonna throw it roughly there, and then it's gonna be housed for a touchdown. So we'll roll the play, kind of talk about it. You got a little kind of rub clear out thing from that little bunch look on the left. You're gonna kind of drag someone over. You got him dragging over there. Pressure in his face because someone just gets murdered. I can't remember who the offensive lineman is here. We'll look at. I think this is Royce Newman. I think this was Newman or Sean Ryan. I think it's Sean Ryan. I think. Yeah, it's Sean Ryan right there. Gets bowled over. Pressure in the face. This might be a pick six anyway. Honestly, it doesn't. I don't know that it matters, but that certainly doesn't help. Apologies for whatever noise that just was. That's not great. Honestly, I just take a minute. Ryan, I thought looked fine overall on the day. This was a very bad rep. I think this was his first snap of the game and looked real bad. So what the Packers are trying to do, this is something they run quite a bit or have run quite a bit, especially against man coverage, is you get this like kind of clear out and you get these kind of like half crossers, and these guys are usually pretty close together. And the idea is to build a wall. So you're kind of building that wall. And then you just bring this guy over on a drag. You do this a lot on, again, you got a peer like I usually do. My play concept tag, which, don't ding me on that. If you disagree, I'm all up for a healthy conversation. If you guys want to have that conversation on some of these, not 100% accurate. 3rd and 6, Packers like to do this a lot on 3rd and 6, kind of 3rd and medium. You build that wall, you bring that drag over. So that's what you're trying to accomplish. Now, the monkey and the wrench here is this guy right there. We'll watch him because he fools Clifford on this. And I don't know that I want to ding Clifford on this. Again, pressure on his face. He kind of looks over and he does confirm, he does check this. It just ends up going poorly for him. So we're going to watch him right there. So, and we'll see it from the end zone angle a little bit better. Kind of check him. See a little, he steps back. So in Clifford's mind, all right, you checked. You're not sure what the coverage is going to be before the snap is kind of what he's thinking. Let me rewind this back a little bit. So you've got these kind of two safeties here. So before, he kind of looks, all right, too high. You're going to check this backside because you're running the concept from this side. Short drag. And so you want to confirm, is this too high? Is this single high? If this is too high, I've got space to run this. If this is single high, who's spinning? Is that guy spinning back? Because then he's coming up to Rob, and then he's going to take away that drag. So we do not want that. It turns out that is what happened. But again, he just gets fooled a little bit. So he does look. He checks his priors. That guy's backing up. So when he sees that, he says, all right, this is too high. I've got too high. As long as this guy doesn't jump onto the drag, I'm good. I've got this cleared out. This is a first down. I've got this. So he moves off. Now he moves over. Now, as soon as he moves over, you can see his eyes looking over here. This guy's held in place in his mind. All right, I've got that. I don't need to worry about him. That means the drag's open. I got all this space here. You can see him stepping up. So at this point now, they are rotating their safeties. They're spinning. Now you've got your single high look. Clifford's already looked off. Now, at this point, this is do you check where you're throwing then again? Do you check to make sure that guy isn't spinning? Well, maybe ideally, but not every quarterback's going to do that. And then also you got to contend with, this man just murdering the line at the moment. So you don't have time to do that. If you do that now, you get killed. So that's kind of what ends up happening. He's, man in his face. I know in his mind, I've got too high. I've checked that. I've confirmed that. I'm going to throw this. Instead, it just gets jumped, taken to the house. Again, not great. Pick six is never something you want to see, but we'll look from the back of Clifford here, and we'll just watch. It's going to be that guy right up there. So we're going to watch. See that step back? See Clifford looking at him. He's confirming too high. Now he sneaks back. It's real tricky. It's a early rotation, then a late rotation. So they fooled him, and he just throws that, thinking there's no one there. Gets hammered, lets it go. Again, pick six is not good, but I don't know that I'm gonna kill him for that. I think the fact that he checked is good. Again, he just got fooled, and then the offensive line got murdered, and he said, "All right, this was my first read anyway, this drag, and it looks like it's open. The linebacker's not pushing underneath. They're not spinning to one high. I'm throwing this before I get killed." I'm honestly kind of fine with the process there. It just ended poorly for him. So this one here, I don't know. I talk about it too much. It's just this is a really insane throw. He goes through two reads and then rolls out and then chucks this sucker on a dime on the corner. Really, really nice throw from Clifford. I feel like I'd be remiss not to mention this throw, but we will talk about it a little bit more. Here we go. Bail. Finds the corner. Beautiful ball. Beautiful ball on the run, moving to his left. Really nicely done. This is another one that's all curls, which again, I hate this. And I don't know if this is something we're going to see during the season. The reason I hate it, if anyone cares, is just I don't like the staticness of it all. You're all running like hitches at the sticks, and it's third down, it's 3rd and 9, like you're trying to get a first down or whatever. And so in this instance, like maybe that's fine, but you're limiting what you can do. It's all stops, man. You're not hitting anyone on the move. You got no room for yards after catch ability. You are just everyone's going where they are and they're stopping as soon as they catch it, they're getting tackled. Maybe you can back up, get an extra yard or two if you muscle your way. I don't like the concept, but whatever. He goes from he's looking 1 to 2. I think he's looking middle. He's looking Tyler Davis. He doesn't like that, so he goes outside to Wicks. I think that is. He doesn't like it. And then as he moves on, he sees, that guy's kind of in his face, so he moves and he throws. Fine with that, more or less. Again, I don't like the concept, but I just kind of want to mention it just because that's a really, really pretty throw. This is Mesh, which is one of my favorites. I say it's one of my favorites. The Packers not go with it for a few years, and this is very poorly done. It's a very slow mesh. Seems like those two guys don't know what they're doing in the middle, and then he just goes to check it down. This one's a little baffling to me. Just the way he reads this out, because it looks like he goes to his third read. When the second read is open, he just hesitates on number 2 for some reason. Looks like he's kind of reading out the mesh point. He's reading out, or he doesn't even read the mesh, which is kind of odd. He's reading slant. So you got the slant, mesh middle, and then you've got this kind of, late releasing running back through the middle. The way you read mesh, I'm not going to get into all that. Usually the mesh is the second thing you read. He's looking slant to slant, and then when that's not there, he just goes RB in the middle. But this slant's open, so it's a little confusing to me why he does that. This one he does not like, which I'm fine with. It looks like he sets to throw, but you've got that guy trying to jump in, that guy over the top, so he moves off of it, which is fine. But then he moves over here, which is wide open. That guy's backside hip. Both these guys are pulled inside. There's a nice little window to fit that thing, and he's not comfortable. Again, this is another theme that we're going to find a little later. He moves over. He's in a great position to throw that. There's a window there. Like he's set to throw, open, window, just moves to the check down. This is one, I don't want to kill him for it too much. He moves off the first read, which is good. Second read's open. No idea why he doesn't do that. I don't know if the check down is a comfort thing. I know where that guy is going to be, and you can see him. Boom, hitch. He's going to throw that. But again, we saw that guy jumping underneath. He moves. He's set, dude. Like he's ready to throw. And then instead, he just comes back to the middle. So I don't know if the check down is a comfort thing, and we'll see this again at least one more time later in this little look, or if that was a coaching point. Hey, if it's not there and you feel like you like the check down, just take the check down. Like don't try to do anything. It's odd to me that you don't throw that second one because he's set. It looks like he's going to that read. Why the read is a second slant instead of the mesh, I'm not entirely sure either. That's another weird point. It seems like you typically at mesh, if there's a vertical, you go the vertical, and then you read that middle part as the number 2, and then you kind of come back to that secondary route or a check down out of the backfield. So your check down is the last, which is on some concepts, a lot of concepts anyway. Why you go like full field read? I'm going slant to this side, scanning all the way over, slant to this side, and then come back to the middle. And like kind of slant, progress, mesh, slant. So the fact that the second slant, I'm getting too far down this rabbit hole. I don't know that it matters because I don't really know what the call was on this in terms of what he's supposed to do. It just seems like an odd thing and not something you typically see on this concept. So it seems like maybe he passed over the mesh, which I don't know that I have a problem with because it was really slow and looked a little disjointed in the middle anyway. is set to throw on that slant, which looked like his two read in his head and didn't do it for some reason. So I'm not entirely sure, just a little confused on that. This one here, he this is a good one. I like this one. This is a follow, kind of a follow concept. Falls incomplete. Again, throw this is a tight window, kind of fit this in. But this is kind of a confirm prior kind of check. You got this kind of like follow concept over here, and you got a single high safety, and you run a vert from here. So it looks like what he does, he checks the concept, which is kind of a little muddled. He doesn't like it. So then he checks the safety. Sees confirmed single high, and which it likely is going to be given the fact that everyone's up here, unless they run some wacky kind of like invert drop stuff where you likely wouldn't see too much in the preseason anyway. And then he says, all right, I don't like the concept. I got single high. I'm taking a chance to my one-on-one on the vert, which I don't really have an issue with. Again, so we're going to look at the trip side. You've got this little follow kind of go up there, so little glance route. He doesn't really like it. He's already kind of moved off at this point. So we'll kind of go back and look at Clifford here. Bang, bang. He doesn't even set to throw. He just kind of checks, sees, I think what he looks at, and we'll see it better from the other side. He sees this guy in the middle. That guy's turned, which means you're taking that away, and you're likely looking at, because he's looking to follow this guy up, is what you're looking at, which means he likely thinks, well, this guy's probably going to sit on this other route here. I don't like it. I'm going to confirm single high safety. It is. I'm just taking a shot to my dude. Don't hate the process a single bit on this one. Just chucks it up. Tries to go up and get it. Can't quite get there. And we will see from this back angle again, kind of what he's looking at. So you've got the single high safety. That's the linebacker he's looking at there. Checks that linebacker right there. He's turned. He's going to carry my dude vertically. I don't trust what's going to happen on the other side. I don't feel like reading that out because that's going to take too long. I know I've got my one-on-one over there. So if I don't like that this guy's carrying this vertically, that might mean my concept is dead. I'm just gonna go over. I don't like the linebacker. I'm coming over. Got single high. Just taking that dude. So again, not a great throw. Process I'm perfectly fine with. This one is kind of spin concept. He's going to throw through a couple of these. For an article about this on Cheesehead that'll be up today. Today, I think. He's going to throw there to Wicks. This is towards the end of the first half. Nice throw. Leads him up the field. Wicks ends up getting a nice little gain out of that, 19 yards. So what you're looking at here is, I'm going to remember this for later, a little pin down, got kind of vertical pushing dig / veer con thing there. And you're looking for this to hold down that man right there. And if he's held down, that means you got one-on-one over here, get inside, you just throw that little dig. This is something we didn't see a whole lot in Green Bay, and then Jordan Love ran it 3 times against the Eagles when he was in. And then they ran it a few more times throughout the course of the year. So this is something I assume will be in the Packers arsenal this year. So this is good. He's confirming the pin down. Look, confirm that guy's pinned down. That means I've got it open. Just throw that ball. And we'll see this again in a little bit. We'll watch his head. I'm trying to move through these fast guys. I apologize. I just talked too much. He's looking. I got the pin down, which would be happening about right there. I do. Fire. Nicely done. This one here, I moved to one I wasn't ready for. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right. This one is Hank. He's looking Hank, and this is fine. I think for the most part, he gets murdered. He just throws to the flat, which unfortunately gets caught and then run out for a 2-yard loss. But this is one. It's Royce Newman in the middle, just absolutely gets killed. So they're going to be running on one side, kind of a Hank concept, which is curl dig, and the other side looks like a middle read dagger. So you're going to take this little blump, 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 blump. And then you've got, I think from here, so he's got this, so you got this dagger concept here. He's got the option at the top of the route to either split the safeties or run a dig, depending on if that's single high or too high. It's too high. He's going to veer that up the field. And you've got a little check down over here. So he's going to read out Hank. It doesn't look like he ever looks at the dagger, but he's going to read out Hank over here. He sets the throw. Doesn't like it. It looks like he wants to throw the hook. And the hook's not there. He never goes flat, which I don't know that I have a problem with, I guess. I mean, that guy's kind of going off. If you're looking to read the concept, you do hook to flat. He does not do that. He just says, hook's not there, I'm moving. He kind of looks a little bit in the middle. This is getting muddled. By this point, Royce Newman is just getting his lunch eaten. So he moves to the check down. And I think you can stay on that dagger a little bit more, but it is a little muddled over here. So that's one you don't really want to kill him for. Overall, I think process is fine here. He goes to the hook. You can make an argument that you go hook to flat. He can throw that flat. I don't know that I have a huge problem with that. Then he does briefly look at the dagger concept, which we'll look here. And it's muddled, so I have no issue with him moving off of that, but then he just doesn't have a chance to do anything else. But if you get through all of your reads, you can see him right here. Bang, bang. He set the throw, moves off the hook, moves to the middle. It's a little muddy in the middle there. He looks to throw, but that linebacker is carrying off. He doesn't like it. I'm going to set the throw to the flat and just gets absolutely cooked by that hit. So, again, not really a problem with the process there. It just broke down, and he made it through all of his reads. So that one's good. I like that one. Oh, curls again. I hate this one. This is going to be not great process, I guess, and a bad throw. So this is not a great one. This is the Tucker Craft interception. It's going to be occurring somewhere in the middle of the field right there. He's running all curls. He is throwing to Craft first, and it just gets picked off. And so we'll see it from this angle here. That's his first read, and he's looking. Here's Tucker Craft right there. He's reading that linebacker. And see him looking at that guy. He's looking, make sure he bails. He does bail. I said I didn't like the process. I think the process, I guess, is fine. Now I think about it. It's a bad throw. So he's reading that linebacker there. He's holding him. He's holding him. That's good because you need that window. You got that window right there. I'm going to throw this hook to Tucker Craft on 2nd and 12. Craft's curling. Put the ball right there. Put it right there so Kraft can come back to it. Instead, he kind of puts it to the inside shoulder of Kraft. Now the couple knocks on this. For one, this is not a good throw. That throw should be a little more there. You've got a window to work with. Have him work on it. Have him come back for it. The other thing is Kraft gets muscled. One Kraft should not get muscled here. So I think it's not great. I think if you put it in a better spot, if you put it here, Kraft has a better opportunity to kind of come up and get that ball. So if this is a better ball, maybe you see a more aggressive Kraft. I think that's certainly a possibility. But the ball's out. You can see he's kind of off balance a little bit, right? He has to reach back to get it. Not great either way. I think this should be a better ball by Clifford. You've got room to work with. Use that room. Have him come back for it. Throw a little bit, in a spot where he can get it. But it's also not great by Kraft. But yeah, he's coming out of the break and it's a little bit behind him. His feet seem to get crossed up a little bit. He's not in a good place to kind of use that base, use that strength to kind of box that guy out. So that's something you hope Kraft will kind of get better at, but not great on either side. This one here is going to be, I'll just say, kind of the same thing we saw earlier. He's going to hit Wicks. This is that big completion to Wicks right now, right before halftime. Yeah, 47 yards. He's going to throw that sucker. Great ball. Looks like a great ball to Wicks. Just absolutely rips that sucker in there. Well done. Well done. Now here's the issue again. So we've got the same concept as before. Won't spend a whole lot of time with it. Hitch, hold down the hook defender, run that little dig, slant, deep slant, whatever you want to call it. All well and good. And they're going to be rotating their safeties, and that's something he never, ever looks at. So they've got, I think they're going to do that. Like they're rotating that way. And he never really checks that. And that's part of the problem here. So he looks, I've got this read. I'm reading the hook defender. Is he held down? He sure is. Buddy, he sure is. He never looks here. They rotate back, and he's rotating down. So you're robbing that sucker. Now, he's robbing that. I think he's going to fall off. That's, I think, the way this is going to work. No, it's not. He's going to carry 47 carries vertical. You've got this coming down. He's kind of reading the quarterback a little bit. If he's a little quicker, he's got a chance on that play. That's a tight window. Look at those converging defenders. He fits it right in between there, which rips the ball. Fits it in between two defenders. Honestly, that's the decision you would make even if you know if that guy is coming down. So it's one of those things where, do you ding him for that? I think you do. At least I would, because he never checks that backside safety. If instead of, and we'll run this back in a second, if instead of rotating that way, if the defense sees, okay, they like to do this, And he's not going to check that if you instead kind of spin that guy down. Well, now he's sitting right in your window. You're not looking. Oh, the hook defender's down. I'm going to throw this sucker right in there. You've got a guy right in your window. That's an interception. And so that's one you got to check that. And he's need to not check that. Look at it from the back window here. There we go. And they're going to spin these guys. And that's the guy we're going to be looking at right there. 27. Backs up. You can see, look at Clifford's head. I think he's checking play side safety. He never looks backside. And that guy initially, and again, this is another thing like the other one we looked at. They fool on that pick six. They fool him a little bit because they do have that little rock step back and then they kind of come forward. So it looks like they're dropping it too high initially. So it is a tricky little bit of tricky bit of trickery. That's probably not the way I want to go with that, but that's the way I'm going to go with that. By the Bengals here. But still, he never checks that backside safety. He never looks again. He just takes it and he rips it. Now from here, see the window, maybe not quite as tight as it looks from the other angle, but that is one, again, if you're not checking that backside safety, teams are going to notice that and they will figure out a way to take that away from you. Risky throw. It's a good throw because he absolutely rips that sucker, but it's one of those things, if you do that on a regular basis, that's going to catch up with you. So I don't necessarily love the lack of checking that there. So this is, I like this one. Bad ball. It's a bad ball. He's going to throw right in the middle here. He's going to throw him complete to the middle off off a weird base, like doesn't really step into that throw that much. And I like the process there again. So it's incomplete in the middle to Torre. What you're looking at here is you got to this side, and we'll look at this side. So smash fade. You've got two high safeties. You've got these two here, and then you're running this guy, you're running Torre up the pipe right against him. And so the read would be on this, if he's looking left side, he's looking trips. If this rolls to single high, rolls like that, single high, I'll do a different color because that seems confusing. If you're rolling single high, you're rolling that guy away. Now he's roaming the middle of the field. He's throwing that. Since he's not there, since you've got the two high, this is capped essentially. So you take the guy splitting the safeties. Fine read. I think he checks backside to see if that's what the safeties are doing. He sees the too high, so he throws it. The problem, I mean, the decision's fine. The problem is that he's not in a position to throw that ball. So we'll look at, again, he's going to throw right in the middle. Watch his feet. He kind of is as he drops back, he's looking at, okay, he's going to throw that fade. He confirms the too high. You can see him confirm the too high right there. He's set. He never moves his feet. Looks like he's set to throw that. He widens that base. I'm not a footwork expert, man. Like I'm watching Aaron Rodgers for years, and there's the whole he generates torque with his hips. Sean Clifford is not Aaron Rodgers. Very few people, as it turns out, are. And so he's kind of throwing that off that weird kind of wide base there. He just there's not enough on it, and then it's thrown behind. I guess there probably is enough on it. I guess that's unfair. He rips that sucker, but it's there when it should be there. You've got the room between the safeties. He throws it there. It's behind. By the time he gets there, it gives the safety a chance to catch up. Or if you put it out in front, it's a tight window to fit. You know, if we're talking about that, so you really want you to step into that and rip it. He just never resets his feet from the looks of it. He's kind of set to throw that fade. It's not there. He comes back to a second read, doesn't reset his feet, gets enough on the ball, but it's just an arm throw. And so it's just, you probably put a little bit more on that ball to make that a little bit more on a line to make sure you split that. But it's also behind, doesn't hit the window. Again, fine, I guess fine read on that. Just the throw is not good, and part of that is the footwork there. We've got 3 left. I promise you we're almost done. So this one here, we've got this dagger middle read thing. We're going to throw this. He's throwing check down. So he goes straight from the first read route, which is here. So you've got this little slot fade over here, and you're running dagger to this side, which is something they did a handful of times. So you've got this. Blah, 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 blah. Then you're going to run like this middle read dagger. Yeah, same thing as before. So this becomes a dig if it's too high. That becomes split the safety, or split the safety is too high. Becomes a dig if that's single high. Then you kind of run that little thing behind it, and then you're sneaking. I think him out. I might be wrong on that. No, I'm right. Block and release. Okay, so he just goes straight to the first read fade, which isn't like, again, as we just talked about. He's looking here. That's capped. He doesn't like it. Kind of sits on that for a minute and then goes to the check down. Which fine. So check down. You're getting 4 yards in second and 16. Second and 16 is not a fun down and distance to manage there. But it doesn't really look like he ever goes second read. It looks like he goes fade. He confirms, okay, I don't like that. Then he just moves over. Lingers on that dagger a little bit. Does kind of look at it, but I don't know. It feels like there's something there. You can you've got that. You hold that guy a little bit. You've got that. He doesn't like the rush. I guess that's probably what it is. He doesn't like the rush in his face. I guess the more I look about that one seems fine. That you'd like to see him maybe move off that fade a little bit more because that too high is confirmed pretty quickly. But ideally, what you need to do is you need to wait for this guy to open up, and right there you can tell he can't open up, and so he takes the check down. That seems fine. I'm sorry, Sean Clifford, that I doubted you on that one. This one's bad. This one's not great either. This is play action bootleg. We'll run it. He short arms the throw to the flat, which is the one bad thing he does there, but there's something else that's not great either. So he just kind of chucks it, dirts it. Not great. You can see he's upset right there. He's upset. Oh man, I'm Sean Clifford. I'm upset. So you're gonna be the same thing as before. Some of these play action bootlegs, they run these a lot in season. They're going to run a whole lot of these during the regular season as well. So you've got this little run the flat, play action fake this way, run the flat, crosser, and then deep route there. Again, typically go 1 to 2 to 3. You want to hit that one. That's the one you're really trying to hit because that one's usually barely a glance. I don't know why I keep saying that's 1. Usually it's 1 to 2. It's a 2-man read more often than not. So you go like that. Your two's open, Bubba. Your two's open right there. Set up. You got that guy there. He's coming, but you got time to set and throw. Now this is wide open. So I guess maybe you say you don't want to kill him too much, but usually you do want to hit the 2. That first reads the 2. Instead, he goes straight to the 1. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable throwing to the crosser there. I'm going to throw to the flat. Problem is that he doesn't get enough on the flat either. And so it just hits it wide. So again, that's one. I don't want to knock him for too much because that guy is wide open. He's wide open in space, but that guy is also, and that should be your first read there, is also open. That's the guy you want to hit. You got time to set and throw, fire that sucker in. You got this. Instead, he goes to flat and just misses it. So not the worst process, but not the best process, and also a bad throw. All right, we're going to cap it off with this one. I'm just going chronological order. I promise you this is not something where I want to end on a bad one. I have no agenda here. This is this drift concept, strike, PA, bang, dig, whatever you want to call it. What you're doing, basing off of that play action bootleg we're looking at, you're going to boot your guy. This is one I talk about a lot, but we might as well talk about it here because this is a core play, Packers' biggest play, a lot of teams' biggest plays that are playing this kind of offense. You fake the handoff there. Instead of doing the boot, you do a quick spin and you set up right there. You got a vertical runoff. I think he kind of runs a little blaze out thing here, and then a dig behind it. The idea, pull these guys up, get them out of the middle, either on the play action or on the boot action. You're freeing up the middle. You're firing on this dig behind. You're creating a window. You're hitting that window. All well and good. Single high safety here. That's going to be important. So he's going to fake that. You've got them. They bit real hard, brother. Those guys are all the way up. You've got the biggest window in the entire world. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. He's setting up the throw. You get a single high safety. Single high safety is looking to drive that. He never looks at the safety. Throws it, puts it out in front. I think it could get his wide receiver injured right there. Like I said, he comes up with a tremendous catch. We'll look at it from this angle, but he has no idea that safety's driving. So here we go. Snap, blam, turns right back around. He's looking here. Safety's reading it. He throws that. Again, the base is not great. If you look at his feet, he wants to throw there. He's pointing that way. So it's a little off target. That base is not there. Look at that reach. That safety's coming down. He's got to reach. Again, tremendous catch, but you got to put that ball on him. You got to know if, first of all, it's single high. And we'll look at this in a second. Unless they're running, again, some kind of invert coverage, this is a single high based on the pre-snap look. That guy is going to be looking to drive on that. And so that's you just put it out in front of them. Again, this is one the process whatever because on this particular concept, you really only have one read. The concept is the progression is one man. There are times you can go to another guy if you like the vertical option, you can throw the vertical option. But if your process is did he make the right read? There's only one read here. There's not another read to make. He's throwing in the middle of the field and it's open. This is just he did not check the safety to see if he's driving on it. And then he throws a really bad ball. I'll just back up right there where you can see him. I mean, that listen, dude, if this was the 80s, uh, that would have been real, real bad. You can see the safety kind of backing off because I can't helmet them and hit him. But even in this day and age, you don't want to throw the ball there. That's a bad throw. So that's what I've got. I don't want to dwell on that any more than I have to. This went longer than I thought it would, but hey, we went through 17 plays. So overall, thoughts on Sean Clifford? He showed some nice things, showed a willingness to thread that ball, but also just a propensity to take the check down. I think a little too often by my liking. Usually would pass up kind of a secondary read in order to just throw that check down because that's kind of what he wanted to do. Did not have the best footwork, can be cleaned up, but not the best footwork. Would throw off a not necessarily an uneven base, but I will say an unpointed base. He's throwing two places he's not necessarily looking to throw. Would sometimes be surprised about where guys are. So there was some good there. There are times he went full field read, and that was very very good. There's also times like this where listen, again, one read on this one that seems fine, but he seems like he is not checking that backside defender a lot of times, whether that's a safety, whether that's a linebacker, whether that's looking at that too high spin. And again, on the pick six, and there's one other one, they really fooled him on some of those. And I don't want to ding him too much for that because that is something that I think a lot of quarterbacks would get fooled by, but there is a kind of he's got an issue right now, which again, rookie quarterback, first start, was coming out raw anyway, and so it's not one where you're like, oh, he sucks, he's never going to be good. No, I'm not necessarily saying that. I think he did show some promise here, but there's a whole lot of things to clean up. Even some of those completions were like, man, he ripped that throw. That's one that if you do that multiple times in a game, someone's going to house call that. That's not going to end up being good. So we're at 42 minutes. 42 minutes talking about Sean Clifford. Longer than I intended to talk about Sean Clifford. Overall, I'd say he seemed fine. Some plays good, some plays bad. Certainly has some things in his game that he needs to clean up. If he kind of wants to take that next step. If I'll say this, if we went into week one, if something unfortunate happened to Jordan Love, which I'm crossing my fingers, knocking on all different kinds of wood, does not happen, and Sean Clifford goes into week one as a starter, season's done. He is in no way ready. Not to say that he can't be ready, but just based on what we saw, based on what we looked at today on one preseason game, granted, all the caveats that go with that, I don't think he's in a position to start an NFL game right now outside of the preseason because he's got a lot of stuff to clean up. So again, way too many words. If you're still with me, I don't know what's wrong with you that you're sitting through 40 plus minutes of Sean Clifford review, but I appreciate you a whole lot, and I will talk to you maybe later this week, maybe after the second preseason game. I'm not entirely sure yet, but thank you as always for tuning in.